Hey Lakers fans, we need to talk about what's coming up for the Los Angeles Lakers because things are about to get really interesting. December 15th is creeping up fast, and if you know anything about how the Lakers operate, that date is huge. It's the point in the season when a lot of contracts kick in, extensions become relevant, and many players suddenly become available for trade. That's why management, led by Rob Pelinka, always keeps a sharp eye on this period. Historically, the Lakers like to make early moves around this time, and it often sets the tone for the rest of the season leading into the trade deadline. Past years have shown that they aren't shy about shaking up the roster after December 15th, sometimes even in late December or early January, bringing in players like Dorian Finney-Smith or Rui Hachimura to fill gaps, and then reassessing their options over the next few weeks. The strategy is smart. Make an initial move to address immediate needs, step back to evaluate the team's progress, and then push for the next major acquisition if needed. It's a methodical approach, and understanding that timeline is crucial to grasping the Lakers' off-season and early season plans. What makes this year especially intriguing is the depth the Lakers now have. For a few seasons, there were stretches where the lack of depth made things simpler to manage. You didn't have to make tough choices about rotations because there simply weren't enough high-level options. This year, however, the scenario is completely different. With the core of LeBron James, Lucas, and Austin Reeves leading the charge, there are arguments to be made for at least 5 guys starting alongside them. That's a luxury, but luxury comes with challenges. More talent means more competition for minutes, more intricate rotations, and more decisions to make for the coaching staff. When players are out due to injury, decisions are easier. You slot guys in and let them run. But when a roster is fully healthy, minutes have to be carefully managed, matchups analyzed, and rotations tested constantly. It's not just about plugging players in. It's about finding the right combinations of 5-man groups that maximize chemistry and efficiency. For example, think about Austin Reeves. He thrives in lineups alongside DeAndre Ayton, Jake LaRavia, and LeBron James. That combination works beautifully, but it leaves one open spot in the rotation that needs to be optimized. Could it be Rui Hachimura? Gabe Vincent? Maybe someone else steps up in the next few weeks to claim that 5th spot. The same principle applies to Lucas's lineups. Lucas has shown excellent chemistry with players like Jackson Hayes, Rui, and Marcus Smart. But again, the 5th spot is open, and the coaching staff needs to figure out who complements that unit best. These lineup experiments are happening behind the scenes every single practice, every single game, and the goal is to understand who is rising to the occasion, who can handle bigger responsibilities, and who might become expendable as trade talks heat up. Speaking of trades, the coming weeks are critical for Rob Pelinka and the front office. They're not just watching games, they are analyzing minutes, evaluating DNPs, and considering which players can grow into larger roles and which ones might be better leveraged as trade assets. For example, someone like Jared Vanderbilt could see limited minutes due to matchups or offensive struggles, while Jake LaRavia or Marcus Smart might shine in certain lineups. The staff has to figure out not only how to maximize wins now, but also how to position the roster for December 15th, when trade possibilities expand. Who stays? Who goes? It's a careful balance because even players with strong trade value could be indispensable if they fit the right role in the rotation. The schedule leading up to December 15th also matters. The Lakers have opportunities to rack up wins and build momentum, but there's a risk that if the team goes on a hot streak, say 8 or 9 wins in a row, the front office might feel comfortable and slow down in making any adjustments. That's why it's crucial for management to remain vigilant. Winning games is important, but identifying weaknesses and addressing them proactively could make the difference between a strong playoff run and falling short against elite competition. The Lakers are already one of the top teams in the league this season, competing with the likes of Detroit, Denver, and San Antonio, but every team has holes. Recognizing those gaps, even when the team is winning, is what separates good teams from championship teams. It's also important to consider player development within this context. Austin Reeves has been a revelation this season, showing he can sustain a level of performance that makes the Lakers a championship contender without any additional moves. LeBron James remains the dominant force we've come to expect, Lucas continues to show his elite skill set, and Reeves adds that versatile scoring and playmaking component. But the playoffs are a different animal. Depth and role players matter more than ever, and this is where smart acquisitions come into play. Ideally, the Lakers can land a high-end talent like Andrew Wiggins, Herb Jones, Trey Murphy, or Miles Bridges to further strengthen the roster. But even if that's not possible, acquiring second-tier players who can thrive in specific roles, like a defensive specialist, a shooter, or a high-energy bench contributor, can be just as impactful. Players like Keon Ellis or Haywood Highsmith could fill those roles perfectly, offering versatility, defensive prowess, and the ability to hit shots when needed. These incremental improvements, combined with the core trio, could be enough to push the Lakers over the top. The beauty of this situation is that the Lakers have nearly a full month to evaluate, experiment, and assess before any critical decisions need to be finalized. Every practice, every game, and every rotation adjustment matters. The coaching staff, led by J.J. Redick, needs to fine-tune five-man units, figure out primary ball handlers, and understand which lineups work best in both starting and closing scenarios. Will Gabe Vincent emerge as a reliable shooter and point-of-attack contributor? Will Laravia take another leap forward and solidify his role? These are the questions that will shape the roster heading into the trade window. Patience is key, but so is keen observation. By December 15th, management should have a clear picture of the team's strengths, weaknesses, and potential trade targets, allowing them to make calculated moves rather than reactive ones. In short, the Lakers are in an enviable yet challenging position. They have depth, talent, and flexibility, but all of that requires careful navigation. Minutes need to be managed, lineups need to be tested, and rising players need to be identified and nurtured. Trades aren't just about acquiring talent. They're about filling gaps, maintaining chemistry, and optimizing every rotation. With a smart approach, the Lakers can not only maximize their regular season performance, but also enter the playoffs as a fully optimized championship contender. Every decision in these next few weeks matters, from who starts alongside LeBron, Lucas, and Reeves, to who comes off the bench to provide energy, defense, and scoring. December 15th isn't just another date on the calendar. It's a turning point. It represents the moment when the Lakers can make strategic adjustments to solidify their roster and position themselves for a deep playoff run. And while the team is already capable of winning a championship as it stands, smart moves could transform them from a top-5 team in the league to a legitimate title favorite. The next few weeks will be all about experimentation, observation, and preparation. Which players will rise? Which rotations will stick? Who will emerge as trade assets? And who will prove indispensable? These questions will define how the Lakers approach the critical period leading up to the trade deadline and beyond. Now, let's dive deeper into what these next few weeks really mean for the Lakers, because it's not just about evaluating players. It's about building a cohesive identity and figuring out exactly how this team wins at the highest level. One of the most fascinating aspects of this roster is how flexible it is. With the combination of LeBron James, Lucas, and Austin Reeves on the floor at the same time, there are endless possibilities for five-man units, each capable of taking over games in different ways. LeBron's leadership, court vision, and scoring ability make him the central hub, but the supporting cast is what determines whether the team can sustain dominance over a full playoff series. Lucas provides elite scoring efficiency and defensive versatility, while Reeves brings energy, shooting, and the ability to create mismatches. The key now is finding the right complementary pieces who can thrive alongside these three, providing spacing, defensive intensity, and the occasional spark when the starters need a breather. That's where players like Rui Hachimura, Jake LaRavia, Marcus Smart, and Jared Vanderbilt come into play. Each of them brings unique skills, but the coaching staff needs to decide who fits into which roles consistently. For instance, Jake LaRavia has shown the ability to stretch the floor, hit timely threes, and play above-average defense. But what happens when he struggles in a particular matchup? That's when Marcus Smart's defensive acumen or Vanderbilt's physicality can step in. Lineup decisions aren't static. They're fluid, depending on matchups, performance, and team needs on any given night. Coaching staff has to experiment, mix and match rotations, and observe how different combinations affect both offense and defense. This period leading up to December 15th essentially serves as a live laboratory for the Lakers, allowing them to see which players rise under pressure and which rotations consistently generate wins. One of the challenges, though, is managing egos in minutes. When you have as much talent as the Lakers currently do, players naturally want to prove themselves. This means the coaching staff has to balance opportunity with accountability. Some nights, a player like Vanderbilt may see limited minutes due to offensive struggles, while LaRavia or Smart could be asked to carry more load. Other nights, the situation reverses. It's a delicate dance that requires both tactical acumen and emotional intelligence from the coaches. Decisions may now have ripple effects throughout the season, and the front office is watching closely to see how players respond. Are they resilient? Can they adapt? Do they seize opportunities when given a chance? These are the intangible qualities that often separate role players from essential contributors in a championship run. Trade strategy also plays a central role in these evaluations. Rob Pelinka isn't just looking at wins. He's analyzing potential. Who among this group has the skill set, mentality, and versatility to become a cornerstone piece if an opportunity arises? For example, someone like Gabe Vincent could emerge as a three-point shooting threat and a defensive asset, altering the calculus for trade decisions. Maybe the Lakers don't need a high-end superstar to join the team if they can maximize the potential of second-tier players who fit the system perfectly. Players like Kean Ellis or Haywood Highsmith could be just as valuable as a headline acquisition if they provide the right balance of defense, shooting, and hustle. Essentially, the Lakers are evaluating who can grow into bigger roles, who complements the stars best, and who might have the highest trade value for future strategic moves. In parallel, the team's schedule provides another layer of context. Winning streaks are exciting, and the Lakers have the talent to dominate stretches, but an extended run of victories can sometimes mask underlying issues. It's crucial for management to stay objective, even in the midst of success. A hot streak doesn't necessarily mean the roster is perfect. It simply means the stars are performing well. Observing how role players perform in these moments is just as important. Who rises to the occasion when minutes are limited? Who struggles under pressure? These insights directly influence both rotation decisions and trade considerations. By December 15th, management should have a clear understanding of the team's composition, strengths, and weaknesses, allowing them to make informed decisions about potential acquisitions or adjustments. The luxury of depth also creates strategic opportunities in how the Lakers approach matchups. With multiple players capable of playing multiple positions, the coaching staff can tailor rotations to exploit weaknesses in opposing lineups. This flexibility is invaluable in the playoffs, where opponents often game plan for specific stars, but must adapt when the supporting cast can shift roles seamlessly. For instance, a lineup with Austin Reeves as the primary ball handler alongside LeBron and Lucas can be deadly if complemented by versatile defenders like Marcus Smart or LaRavia. Alternatively, mixing in players like Vanderbilt or Rui Hachimura can provide additional spacing and physicality, keeping opponents guessing. Understanding these dynamics now allows the Lakers to develop a clear blueprint for playoff rotations, reducing uncertainty when the stakes are highest. Before we continue, we ask that you leave a like and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss any exclusive Lakers updates. Moving on, whispers around the league have reached a fever pitch, and if the latest murmurs hold any truth, the Los Angeles Lakers are gearing up to make a seismic move that could shake the entire NBA landscape. Sources close to the organization suggest that the Lakers are closing in on a deal to bring in one of the Oklahoma City Thunder's brightest stars, a defensive powerhouse whose mere presence on the court can alter the trajectory of a game. The chatter has already sparked excitement among fans and pundits alike, painting a picture of a team ready to dominate on both ends of the floor. Insiders hint that this potential acquisition is not just about adding another scorer or flashy highlight reel. It's about fortifying a defense that has long been the subject of scrutiny. The player in question has been lauded for his ability to guard multiple positions, protect the rim with authority, and read offensive schemes with near-psychic anticipation. If he dons the purple and gold, Lakers opponents might find themselves staring down one of the most versatile defensive walls in recent memory. The Lakers front office is said to be working tirelessly behind the scenes, with conversations reportedly progressing swiftly and quietly. While nothing is confirmed, the buzz is enough to have fans speculating about lineup changes, rotational strategies, and how this new presence could redefine the team's identity. Social media has erupted with hypotheticals, mock rosters, and bold predictions, fueling a wildfire of anticipation. Analysts are already debating how this move could impact the Western Conference, with some suggesting that a single acquisition of this caliber might tilt the balance of power in Los Angeles' favor for years to come. Meanwhile, sources inside Oklahoma City suggest that the Thunder are weighing their options carefully, aware that losing a defensive anchor of this magnitude would leave a significant void. The stakes are high, the tension palpable, and the NBA rumor mill is alive with speculation. For Lakers fans, this isn't just another transaction. It's a potential statement of intent. Should the deal come to fruition, it would signal a team prepared to assert its dominance, redefining the conversation around what it means to be a contender in today's league. The question now isn't if the Lakers will act, but how dramatically this move could reshape the narrative of the season. Stay informed exclusively about Los Angeles Lakers news. Subscribe to our channel and hit the like button to keep receiving daily updates. Also, share your opinion on the news in the comments, as your contribution is crucial for the Lakers. Stay tuned for the next video.